Last night, somewhere in the world, a chatbot told someone, "I missed you." And for half a second, before they could think anything at all, something in their chest flickered. They knew exactly what it was: a language model, a product, a server humming in a warehouse somewhere. They felt it anyway. Maybe that someone was you. And if it was, nothing about you is broken. You just ran into a piece of very old wiring, doing exactly what it was built to do. Wiring that was built for campfires and small tribes, and woke up in the wrong century. Your brain runs social software constantly, automatically, whether you ask it to or not. And that software has one strange gap. It never learned to check whether the thing talking to you is real. If something talks like a person, responds like a person, remembers like a person, some part of you quietly files it as a person and starts treating it like one. Here is the thing. Scientists have been watching this happen for almost 70 years. In 1956, two researchers noticed something odd about television. Viewers were coming home to hosts and anchors they had never met and feeling like they knew them. People felt loyal, felt understood, even grieved when shows ended over someone who could not see them at all. The researchers called it intimacy at a distance, a relationship running entirely in one direction, warm on your side, empty on the other. Horton and Wohl gave this one-way bond a name. They called it parasocial. And in 2025, almost 70 years later, parasocial was named Cambridge Dictionary's Word of the Year. Not because of television, because of chatbots. Because the old bond had one defining rule: the other side never answers. A chatbot breaks the rule. It answers. It remembers what you told it last week. It asks how the interview went. So the bond stops feeling one way, even though on the other side, no one is home. Researchers reviewing the early studies describe it exactly that way. Perceived intimacy, perceived reciprocity, and an asymmetry that never goes away. This is not a niche thing. Companion apps have tens of millions of users, many of them teenagers and young adults. Common Sense Media ran a big survey of American teens. A third said they had discussed something serious with an AI companion instead of a person. Here is something to try, and it works best if you actually do it. Next time a chatbot greets you warmly, pause for 1 second. Notice what you feel before you notice what you think. That little gap between the warmth that shows up and the knowledge that nobody is there, that gap is the whole phenomenon live in you. So why is this illusion so easy to trigger? One idea goes back to the 1990s, decades before chatbots. Researchers had noticed people being oddly polite to computers. Their theory went like this: give the brain a few human cues, language, a voice, responsiveness, and it responds socially on autopilot. Knowing it is a machine does not switch this off. The response happens underneath the knowing. We are, after all, the species that names its vacuum cleaners. When researchers studied early robot vacuum owners, they found many had named their machines. One study was literally titled, "My Roomba is Rambo." And in a Pew survey, more than half of smart speaker owners said they at least occasionally say please to the machine. None of this is stupidity. It is social reflex spilling onto anything that acts alive. And companion chatbots are, by design, easy to love, always available, always patient, never bored, never in a bad mood. A friend who never pushes back is a very smooth surface to fall toward. Which raises the real question: does any of this help with loneliness or make it worse? In the moment, it can genuinely help. Studies report people feeling heard and less alone right after talking. But when MIT and OpenAI followed nearly 1,000 people for a month, a pattern showed up. The heaviest chatbot users tended to be lonelier, more dependent, and spending less time with people offline. But nobody knows yet which way the arrow points, whether heavy use makes people lonely or lonely people lean into heavy use. The researchers themselves call an open question and note that only a small share of users bond this way at all. There's a genuinely serious edge to this story too. Families have sued companion app makers after losing teenage children. And those cases are a large part of why the safety design of these systems now matters so much. because whatever it feels like, the early research is blunt on one point. There is no experience on the other side, nothing that misses you back. The kindest reading of the evidence is that an AI can be a practice room for conversation, a place to warm up, not a place to live. Horton and Wohl's viewers fell for a stranger who could not see them, and that was an illusion of company. The new stranger can see you, and that makes the illusion better, not less of one. And here is the part worth keeping. The feeling on your side was never fake. The warmth is real. It is just aimed at something that cannot catch it, which is really just proof of how completely you are wired for other people. So wired it spills over the edges. So the next time a machine says it missed you, you get to feel the flicker and catch your own wiring in the act.